Good morning, everybody. Welcome to LIFTT's ADA celebration of the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Today's is a glorious day for LIFTT, not only because of the 34th anniversary of the ADA, but because it's the first celebration we hold at our new building located on 1241 Crawford Drive in Billings, Montana. We are between 13 and 12 streets west, a few steps from Poly Drive, a few steps from Park Hill Avenue. We would like to invite you to join us. There are lots of entertainment activities and strategic partners that LIFTT works with here now celebrating this anniversary. Every year we choose a theme for the celebration. This year we chose a disability inclusion through transportation, and we are very happy to inform you that Billings Met is here with two buses fully accessible to put on display what the Americans with Disabilities Act did for American society. So please feel free to come, join us, have fun, walk around. You will not only learn about what it means to live with different abilities and meet our team, but have the opportunity to eat ice cream, hot dogs, and popcorn. We are here waiting for you. See you later. Thank you.
Disability is something that has a major impact on your life.
Every disability is different.
And it's never the same thing for two people. I am blind in my right eye totally and partially sighted in my left eye.
I was 18 years old. We were traveling way too fast on a gravel road. Broke my neck, my back.
My Asperger's syndrome and my cerebral palsy.
I have anxiety and depression. People would have no idea just talking to me.
Being independent means different things to different people.
I want to live in my own house. I want to pay my own bills.
Live independently and not rely on other people.
When someone is not able to live as independently as they can, it does have a detrimental effect on people's physical and mental well-being.
It's no complicated thing. It's just that people with disabilities want to be included.
Plenty of people get stuck in ruts when they feel like they can't overcome something in their life. That's where LIFTT comes in.
Living independently for today and tomorrow. LIFTT. We help people of all ages and all types of disabilities find the resources or acquire the skills to live as independently as possible.
We serve the southeastern 18 counties here at the Billings office. We have a variety of things that we offer. We can help with grant funding for adaptive equipment.
Maybe a home modification so they're able to access their home. We help people to find that funding.
Helping people apply for Social Security benefits.
Medicaid, Medicare, housing.
They have a peer support group. Peer support, I think, is key.
Sharing life experiences is one of the most powerful things to help people who might be new to disability, who might be struggling with their disability.
Youth transitions is kids that are transitioning out of high school. They need to learn those adulting skills. It might be rent an apartment, learn how to grocery shop, budgeting.
Help someone advocate for themselves in a school or an employment setting. One of our biggest strengths is providing folks with information and referral. If we can't help you, we hope to know who can.
A lot of times we'll have a potential consumer call in and they think that they just have one need, and it turns out that we end up finding 3 or 4 things we can actually do for them.
You can just come in and say, hey, I feel like I have this going on. Can you help me? And we can, which is so cool to me. I love that.
Most of us on staff at LIFTT have identified ourselves as having one or more disabilities. That is helpful in many cases.
It's easier to empathize with someone when you yourself have struggled with a disability.
This is what we specialize in. This is who we are, and this is what we do.
And it costs nothing to go to LIFTT. It's a nonprofit organization and they're there to help.
Somebody that was a consumer that was working with LIFTT was asked to do an art project. He visualized that the balloon helps to lift people up. And then it became the logo and it's stuck.
There's been success on all kinds of levels.
It's really rewarding to have a consumer go, hey, I was able to do this by myself today.
We want people to live their best life as independent as possible.
Live as everyone else in society and live as a part of society, not apart from society.
Everybody needs help. Sometimes you just need a little more help, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay.
There's plenty of life to live still, and there's a way you can do it. Keep chipping away at it, little by little by little.
Knowledge is power. Let's share it, for crying out loud.
Send us an email, give us a call. We'll do our best to help.
We can definitely help figure out what your needs are and get started on that. We're one of many steps in the path to independence, and we're happy to be serving people here in the community.
So, Jen, thank you very much for getting up at 5 a.m. and driving all the way from Glendive to Billings to be here with us.
Absolutely.
Jen is our regional manager in LIFTT's office in Glendive, and she leads a team of 10 independent living specialists and one personal care assistant facilitator. It's not an easy job, but it's satisfying, isn't it?
I love it. I love my job.
If anybody today would ask you, what are we doing here today? How would you respond to them?
We are celebrating the ADA today, which is amazing. Yes, right here. The ADA is fantastic. It just lets people with disabilities grow.
Is AGA a drink like a Coca-Cola or a medication?
No, it's the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Also, it's a piece of legislation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Most
absolutely.
people do not believe that the law is good. What makes the AGA a good law?
Well, it's accessible for everybody.
Makes accessibility a reality, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It promotes inclusion and makes it possible for people with disabilities to be part of our society. Would you please say in a few words what services LIFT makes available to Glendive, Dawson County, and all the counties surrounding that area?
So we have a ton of services, but the walkaway I want people to know is a disability for us is anything that has a major impact on your life, but you don't have to have a diagnosis. So we help with paperwork, we help with youth transitions like adulting skills, we help with somebody applying for Medicaid, somebody applying for Social Security, if they need a home modification or a grant, like if they need a scooter or something, we're going to help through that process. Even daily living skills, we help with that. We have a personal care attendant program. You have to be Medicaid eligible, and then you have to have help with like bathing, dressing, hygiene, or a combination of one or more. And if you're needing that service but need to apply for Medicaid, we can help with that process. We help with resources, so we have information and referral, and that is, you call me up, I need the local grocery store number. Great, I'll hook you up.
Wow.
Yes, if you have cancer, in Glendive we have the Community Cancer Fund, so I would refer them to the Community Cancer Fund to get funds for like gas money or a hotel room or whatever, so they can get their cancer.
Sounds
treatment.
like you work 24 hours a day.
I do.
Yeah.
I even dream about it.
Would you give our viewers your name, telephone number, and address in Glendive, and maybe some of them will have a relative in that area in need of a lift service, which, by the way, costs a fortune,
Oh,
right?
it's free.
Oh, are they really free?
Everything.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
So please,
So our phone number is 406-948-8500. You can call and pick any option. Any of our staff are more than happy to help. Our physical address is 120 South Kendrick. And then we also our office covers 10 and a half counties. So we go to those outlying counties. So if somebody knows somebody in like Webo or Ekalak or Baker or Broadus, refer them, we'll get them hooked up. And if we can't, we will refer them to Nickel, which is north of us.
okay. Jan, thank you so much for everything you do for Lyft. And Lyft's consumers, we love you. And we are happy you came from Glendive.
Thank you.
We'll see you around. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
again. My name is Carlos. I am LIFTT's Executive Director, and today we are celebrating the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, civil rights piece of legislation that made the United States and the world inclusive regarding people with disabilities. Here with me we have Melanie. Melanie works for the PCA program.
I do.
And she will tell us what services her department offers people, what is necessary to qualify to receive those services, and how much fun she has working at LIFTT. Thank you, Melanie, for being here.
Thank you. Yes, so I do work in the PCA department. We offer self-direct services, which to qualify for those services, it's Medicaid standard, and then the family member or a friend or anybody that you know could be your caregiver. So there's a lot of options out there for that.
Do they pay for people to be other caregivers?
Correct. So so LIFTT pays the PCA or the caregiver to take care of the family member or friend or significant other to be able to stay in their home and get cares.
So in other words, these personal care assistance services make it possible for the individual to live independently, right?
That's correct.
Well, can you enumerate some of the services the caregivers are supposed to provide?
So they do bathing, dressing, hygiene, meal prep, meal eating, med assist, exercise.
Well, that's a lot of services.
Yeah, and med administration. There's, and then we also have for the quad, or quad pay, consumers. We do have bowel program. We have urinary program. So there's a lot of programs.
Yeah. What do you do in your spare time, Melanie, to distress? Because it sounds like you work a lot.
So my family has a ranch northwest of town here where I grew up. And so usually Saturday or Sundays we go out to the ranch and kind of oosa, and we play with the cows.
Sounds like fun.
And there's goats. We have everything out there. It's really, really nice.
Let me ask you a different question. Don't be scared. I would like to know how you relate to people with disabilities. Is it strange? Is it difficult? What challenges are there? For example, people don't notice sometimes, but I am deaf.
Correct.
And I have to read lips, so that's why I keep looking at your face. And there are people with all types of disabilities here. So in your work, you only relate to people with disabilities.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So the person that I am, I love helping others. There are all types of disabilities. There's something new every day in my work, in our department, the PCA department. There's always something new that comes up, and you have to have the heart to work with an individual that has a disability, and you have to be able to listen to them to de-escalate a situation, or you have to have a lot of patience.
Do you have a difficulty communicating with me, for example? No? I am deaf, but I can hear.
Right. You read lips.
Yeah. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you for
Yes.
being here. Thank you for
Yes.
everything you do for
Yes.
LIFTT consumers.
Yes.
We love
I,
you.
I enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello again. My name is Carlos, and I am the Executive Director of Living Independently for Today and Tomorrow, LIFT. And here with me today in the celebration of the Americans with Disabilities 34th anniversary is Reverend Dwight Welsh. Dwight, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Dwight is a very important strategic partner of LIFT. He's a chaplain at Montana State University, Billings. And among the activities that he leads there is the autistic group. And he is helping us in do and accomplish a lot of things. One of Dwight's identities is being a proud member of the LGBTQ plus community, and he's teaching us and helping LIFT become a safe place for members of the LGBTQA plus community. So, Dwight, thank you for being
Well,
here.
thank you so much. I appreciate
I
this.
would like you to share with our viewers what makes this event special and what motivated you to join us in this celebration.
Sure. So I think on the campus we're connected and known as an LGBT safe space, but we're also known as the Autism Club folks, right? The folks who do autism programming on the campus. And it's where I get my student ministry leaders from, and the overlap is really significant. The Autism Club is a kind of a social group that meets every Friday during the school semester. We play games, watch movies, hang out. We've done some conversations about life, because life on the spectrum when you're going to college can produce its own challenges. And it's not always a visible disability, but it does impact the ability to succeed and do well in school. Only 20% of students on the spectrum will complete college. So it's been an ongoing conversation with the wider campus to give autistic students in particular all the tools they need to finish and succeed and flourish. And our end, it tends to be the social. People just want to have friends and connect. But it has been interesting in terms of the ADA and thinking about accessibility and the conversations with disability services and TRIO and a number of agencies to connect to all the levels of accessibility. So there's physical accessibility on the campus, which some of our students are, use wheelchairs, and so that's going to be a significant issue. We've had students who are at least hard of hearing, and but also artistic students. How
Hard
can they
of
succeed?
hearing like me.
Yeah.
So autism is a disability and requires accommodations. Is being LGBTQ a disability also?
It isn't, but like disability, the social context can allow people to thrive or not, right?
Yeah.
So in both cases, there are folks that really, it becomes important to kind of create the social context that allow LGBT students to succeed and autistic students. Now, the other feature of that is that there is some overlap between those two communities. So part of doing work with students on the spectrum is working with LGBT students. They're not the same, but there's overlap.
What we love about our partnership is that LIFT's mission is to remove the barriers to inclusion, any type of inclusion, is to prevent any type of discrimination.
Yeah.
And you are an expert in doing that and in teaching LIFT's team on how to do that.
Well, I appreciate this. Like I said, the conversation started because of LIFT's own awareness of the intersection of these two communities, and that's a huge way to do outreach and support for folks.
We are very happy you're here. Thank you very much.
so much. I appreciate
We hope
this.
to continue working together.
That'd be great.
Hello again. Today is Friday, July 26th, and it's the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. We refer to it as ADA, and it's a piece of very important civil rights legislation that promotes the inclusion of people living with all types of disabilities in society. You may not be aware of that, but there are people out there living with visible and invisible disabilities. And despite of that, they are entitled to living independently, and that's LIFTT's mission. To accomplish our mission, which is empowering people with disabilities to live life to the fullest, we partner with many different organizations. One of them is the Veterans Navigation Network, and I have here with me Blake representing the VNN, and he became a very important partner of LIFTT because he works directly with veterans. So Blake, welcome to our wonderful celebration of the ADA, and thank you for everything you do for the veterans. I would like you to tell our viewers who you are and what the VNN is and what you can do for veterans that need help regaining their independence.
Well, my name is Blake Furman. I'm the founder of Veterans Navigation Network, and what we really do for veterans is resource navigation, connecting them to awesome organizations like LIFTT, who are out there doing good things that could improve their life and not make their transition from military service difficult, but better, and help them to thrive after that service. And so beyond that resource navigation, we have a peer mentor program, which is other veterans who become successful, helping them, again, to thrive post-military service. And lastly, we do a lot of advocacy. So if they're not getting the care that they deserve, or they're not getting connected to the right people who can help them thrive after service, we help advocate for them to ensure they do get the care that they've earned. And so being a partner with LIFTT is, incredibly powerful because I'm not an expert on ADA, but I know where to send them if they're having issues with that. I know where to send them if they're having issues with being able to stay at home and age in place or live their lives to the fullest, even with some of the disabilities that they might have gotten through their military service. I mean, they've signed that dotted line. They've served their country in some of the most hostile environments in the world, even in training episodes, military sexual trauma, deployments to combat zones, all of those can leave them with disabilities that they'll live with the rest of their life. And I know that LIFTT is a resource that can help them with that.
All it takes to be an expert in Americans with Disabilities Act is to have a disability and live day after day, including yourself in society. So people are not aware, you are not aware, but you are an expert. And we appreciate everything you do for the veterans that have served our country and for the people with disabilities and the promotion of the independent living philosophy.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much. name is Carlos Ramalho. I am originally from São Paulo, Brazil. I became disabled when I moved to Montana. I am deaf and I can see to the point of driving and reading and living a normal life, but I am low vision. LIFTT promotes the inclusion of the aging and disabled people of Montana, or I would say the inclusion of the people with disabilities living in our service area. And we do everything we can to promote inclusion in every aspect of society. This year, we chose to promote disability inclusion through transportation because there is no independent living without a person enjoying the right to move freely in society. So we partnered with Billings Met to put on display, so to speak, the ADA accessibility of the system.
Met Transit is the primary public transportation provider for the City of Billings area. We provide both fixed route bus service and complimentary paratransit service. Our entire fixed route bus fleet is ADA accessible with ramp style deployments. The buses can actually kneel the front end of the bus where you're boarding so that it's curb level, so there's no reason to step up into the bus. If you're using it in some sort of mobility device and can't necessarily cross that gap between the curb and the bus, you can have a ramp deployed for an individual to actually board more easily. The fixed route system is also fully equipped with voice enunciation on board for individuals that are actually either visually impaired or hearing impairments, because it does both audible announcements based on the stop location. It's actually a computerized system that we use in conjunction with our GPS bus tracking system, so it knows what stop it's at, what stop is approaching, and so forth, so it can announce those, make those announcements for individuals that might be visually impaired. We've got a lot of features built into the fixed route system to support individuals that have a wide range of impairments.
You see, transportation is not only important for people to go from point A to point B. They need effective and reliable transportation to go to school, to go to work, to attend to medical appointments, to receive a treatment.
You know, if you're feeling apprehensive, number one, call us, because we'll talk you through it and we'll set you up with somebody to actually go out with you and help you to use that system. We access roughly 85% of the city with the fixed route system, and it's really a pretty convenient service. We have 30-minute service covering probably another about 65 to 70% of the city that happens every day from 5:15 till 8:15 at night as far as weekdays, and then we still have Saturday options as well. So, you know, there's lots of different opportunities out there. There's lots of different methods for getting from where you want to go, but we really just hope you give transit a try and see if it's something you like.
When people with disabilities, no matter what type of disabilities they have, are given the tools they need, they will find ways to succeed. Hello again, I am here with Alicia from MMK9, one of the most important strategic partners of LIFTT. Alicia is a dog trainer, and she works very hard to make sure we, people with disabilities, have service animals. Welcome to our celebration, Alicia. We are so happy to see you. I would like you please to share with the viewers how LIFTT and MMK9 work together and what the service animals can do for people with disabilities.
Sure, yeah. So we're super happy and excited to partner with LIFTT because our overall goal and mission is to make service dogs more affordable and accessible for individuals with disabilities. So in order to do that, we will rescue dogs, we'll get dogs that need rehoming, and then that helps us to be able to keep the cost down. And then LIFTT also offers grant funding to help with that cost as well, so that also helps to keep the cost down for people with disabilities. And then we train all types of service dogs. We do guided mobility, we do psychiatric service dogs for PTSD, ADHD, autism service dogs, anything you could think of, anxiety disorders, panic disorders. We do dogs for hearing impairments, visual impairments, medical alert and response. We pretty much do any training necessary.
Wow, that's wonderful. I rarely watch television because I work long hours, and sometimes in the evening I get home and I fall asleep immediately. But yesterday, by accident, the television was on, and there was a show on television called Sue Thomas. She's deaf and she has a service dog, and she works for the FBI.
Okay.
So I got hooked in watching the show and seeing her relationship with the dog and how she made available to the FBI her ability to read the lips. But it was interesting to see the hearing service dog in action.
Yeah.
The telephone rang, she didn't hear, he would tell her.
Yeah.
Somebody knocked at the door, the dog would come. In one of the episodes, she was having a bathtub relaxation moment, and somebody was knocking at the door desperately, and she would not pay attention to the dog. So the dog just jumped into the bathtub. It was very funny. And watching that show made me want to have a hearing dog. You know,
Yeah.
what do I have to do to get a hearing dog?
Sure. So if you go through our organization, we just require that we do a free consultation, and then there are multiple avenues. We will just try to kind of help you match with your price point and the breed that you're looking for. But honestly, all that anybody needs to do to get a service dog is have a disability, and then the dog just has to be trained to do tasks to mitigate that disability, and they have to be trained to be able to perform those tasks in public.
Yeah. Do you have dogs available immediately?
We do.
Yeah.
Yep. So again, those rescue dogs, we will train them. We put them through our foundational training. A lot of times we will go ahead and do task training that we know most people with disabilities need. And then we try to match them with a handler. We do both in-person and virtual meet and greets. So those are available as well, and then we have those dogs available.
Okay. Well, Alicia, thank you so much
Thank you.
for your hard work. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We are thrilled.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. is Carlos, and I am LIFTT's Executive Director. And welcome to the celebration of the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The Americans with Disabilities Act is a civil rights piece of legislation. It was enacted by President Bush in 1990, and it's 34 years old. LIFTT, however, is 36 years old. We are 2 years older than the Americans with Disabilities Act because we are a center for independent living. Centers for independent living were created by the Vocational Rehab Act. Before that, the vocational rehab is from 1978, and it took a few years after the Vocational Rehab Act was enacted for centers for independent living to be created throughout the United States. Today, the Administration for Community Living believes there are more than 600 centers for independent living in the United States. In Montana, there are 4. One on northeast, another in northwest, another in southwest, and we are the South Central and Eastern Center for Independent Living. We work very hard to provide independent living services to the population, and we have a very important board of directors, and I want to introduce to you Karen Anderson, who is the chair of LIFTT's board of directors. Karen, thank you very much for joining us this morning in our celebration, and thank you for being a volunteer and serving our community and our organization for free and working very hard. Would you please introduce yourself and let us know why are you giving your priceless time to LIFTT?
Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate that. And yes, I'm Karen Anderson, the chair on the board of directors. And you know, Carlos, when I met you, I guess it's been 6 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
We worked together to build their website, which you need to check out. But anyway, we met, and prior to that, I really didn't know, number one, that LIFTT existed. But secondly, how many people in this community needed help with the disabilities, with their disabilities. And once I learned more about your organization, I thought, you know, this is something I'd love to be involved with. So just through our friendship and working relationship, we started working together, and you asked me to be on the board. But this organization is so vital to this community. It's just something I see all your employees do each and every day, and this isn't for the weak at heart.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. Yeah.
this is a hard job, and seeing all the caring that all of your employees have, and yourself for sure, but everyone is so engaged, and
Yeah.
it just makes it easy to
Thank
be
you,
on
Karen.
the board.
We are followers of the example of the members of the board of directors because the board is one of the key components of the puzzle. If we didn't have a board that would push us to pursue our mission and vision and comply with legislation and the terms and conditions of the grants, it's not easy work, you know. It requires a lot of time and meetings and solving problems that are visible and problems that are not. But when you visit our website, and it's true that Karen helped us create a state-of-the-art ADA accessible website, but she didn't limit herself to that. You will see all the videos that you will see on the website. Karen was the producer. I think 2 years ago we produced the first video, and it was around this time
It
also,
was.
and it portrays all the consumers, and you interviewed all the team members. And this year you produced that wonderful video about disability inclusion through transportation.
Wasn't that fun on that bus?
Yeah.
All the employees were laughing and having fun
Yeah.
and just living their best life. It was just the most fun day to produce that. That was
And
a
that's
ball.
why the Billings Mat is here today and brought the buses to put on display the accessibility. So I would say that the partnership that Karen established with LIFTT is perfect. You know, there is mutual trust, there is mutual reliability. We are always there for each other, and nobody better understands LIFTT than Karen. She's the best chair of the board that LIFTT ever had.
Well, thank you very
It's
much. I
really a
appreciate
joy
that. Well,
working with you. Yeah.
it's sure an honor. Again, you know, if there's anyone out there that even has the faintest inkling that you might need help or want help, please give them a call because, as I mentioned, everybody can help you or can find someone to help you. And I just encourage you. The call is free. There's no obligation. There's no charges. So please, if you think you need help, give them a call.
Would you also recommend those who would like to be part of the board to join us?
Yes, yes. You know, that's something that I would encourage anyone to apply. There's not a lot of restrictions. Yes, Carlos will vet. He does a lot of vetting, but it's a fun job in that, you know, living my life as I have, I've had a wonderful life, and I feel like it's kind of time for me to give back. So that's part of the reason I'm doing this, but also because of our partnership. But I would encourage you because there's something really, really special in helping an organization such as this and working with someone such as yourself. It does the heart good. So please, if you'd like to be on the board, give Carlos a call or email.
Thank you, Karen.
Yes.
We love
Thank
you, and we are very
Thank
grateful for your hard work.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hello again. I am here with Eddie Kulak. Forgive me if I don't know how to pronounce your name correctly. For the viewers who do not know, I am deaf and I rely on reading lips, and sometimes I make mistakes when saying a few words. Some people who are hearing might notice that my speech is affected because of the long time of hearing loss. But Eddie, welcome to our celebration of the ADA anniversary. We were talking earlier and you were telling me the wonderful things that the city of Billings is doing to become a more disability friendly and accessible. Would you like to share that with our viewers?
Sure. Thanks for having me, and LIFTT has created a great event here, so it's great to see what you have here. So the City of Billings, whenever we do new sidewalks or streets or in our buildings as well, we're implementing the American with Disabilities Act, so it's a credit to that, but that's make sure that we are at least doing a minimum. There are some places where we're going a little beyond that because we've got sidewalks where we don't have, there's a curb that's a barrier to people and with wheelchairs or a variety of other impairments, and so we are going through on every year and replacing some of those existing sidewalks.
Isn't it easy to just make the curb lower? Can I just go there and step on it harder? with what does it take to make the city more accessible, the parks, the public buildings?
Yeah.
I think the answer is money,
Yes.
but also knowledge of the ADA standards. Is Billings prepared to meet those standards?
Yes. For every project, there's going to be somebody who designs it, and so there are engineers who are very familiar with the requirements of ADA. But yes, it does require money, both to pay for the design work, and also the contractor to do that. And so the city has, I'm afraid I don't know exactly how much is set aside every year for these specific projects to replace curbs at intersections, but the city's prepared in terms of the knowledge, but it's the money to do all of them. That's a big challenge. I would just venture that every single intersection curb that's changed is somewhere around $5,000 to $10,000 to do that.
Wow. And would you say that LIFTT is an important organization in the Billings context? Does it have a positive impact?
Yes. So I've worked with LIFTT mostly in terms of transportation-oriented things. I've gotten to know LIFTT because of LIFTT's efforts to make our community not only more accessible it benefits people not only with disabilities, but also people who want to bike. There's about a third of the people in this country don't have driver's licenses. They can't drive, so they're either dependent on someone else to drive them, or they can be more independent by being able to roll on a wheelchair or walk or bicycle. And so the city is involved in making our community more walkable and bikeable, and LIFTT has been a key partner in helping make that happen. Everybody has disabilities at certain points. My senior partner, for instance, broke both his knees and an elbow, and so we're architects, and so we implement ADA requirements for buildings, but he learned how important they are and how critical they are for buildings when you have a disability yourself. And so everybody, whether you're a child or whether you're elderly, has a lot in common with people that LIFTT serves. And so you bring special voice to that and improve the efforts for that, that help the lives for a lot of people.
Sounds wonderful. So LIFTT is very happy to be headquartered in the Magic City.
Yes.
And Billings is not only the Magic City for us, it's also the Magic ADA accessible and disability friendly place. And it's because of partners like you, and I hope we can continue to work together in the future.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you.
Appreciate the partnership with LIFTT. And your
Thank
efforts.
you. Good job.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Great.
A disability is something that has a major impact on your life.
Every disability is different.
And it's never the same thing for two people. I am blind in my right eye totally and partially sighted in my left eye.
I was 18 years old. We were traveling way too fast on a gravel road. Broke my neck, my back.
My Asperger's syndrome and my cerebral palsy.
I have anxiety and depression. People would have no idea just talking to me.
Being independent means different things to different people.
I want to live in my own house. I want to pay my own bills.
Live independently and not rely on other people.
When someone is not able to live as independently as they can, it does have a detrimental effect on people's physical and mental well-being.
It's no complicated thing. It's just that people with disabilities want to be included.
Plenty of people get stuck in ruts when they feel like they can't overcome something in their life. That's where LIFTT comes in.
Living independently for today and tomorrow. LIFTT. We help people of all ages and all types of disabilities find the resources or acquire the skills to live as independently as possible.
We serve the southeastern 18 counties here at the Billings office. We have a variety of things that we offer. We can help with grant funding for adaptive equipment.
Maybe a home modification so they're able to access their home. We help people to find that funding.
Helping people apply for Social Security benefits.
Medicaid, Medicare, housing.
They have a peer support group. Peer support, I think, is key.
Sharing life experiences is one of the most powerful things to help people who might be new to disability, who might be struggling with their disability.
Youth transitions is kids that are transitioning out of high school. They need to learn those adulting skills. It might be rent an apartment, learn how to grocery shop, budgeting.
Help someone advocate for themselves in a school or an employment setting. One of our biggest strengths is providing folks with information and referral. If we can't help you, we hope to know who can.
A lot of times we'll have a potential consumer call in and they think that they just have one need, and it turns out that we end up finding 3 or 4 things we can actually do for them.
You can just come in and say, hey, I feel like I have this going on. Can you help me? And we can, which is so cool to me. I love that.
Most of us on staff at LIFTT have identified ourselves as having one or more disabilities. That is helpful in many cases.
It's easier to empathize with someone when you yourself have struggled with a disability.
This is what we specialize in. This is who we are, and this is what we do.
And it costs nothing to go to LIFTT. It's a nonprofit organization and they're there to help.
Somebody that was a consumer that was working with LIFTT was asked to do an art project. He visualized that the balloon helps to lift people up, and then it became the logo, and it's stuck.
There's been success on all kinds of levels.
It's really rewarding to have a consumer go, hey, I was able to do this by myself today.
We want people to live their best life as independent as possible.
Live as everyone else in society and live as a part of society, not apart from society.
Everybody needs help. Sometimes you just need a little more help, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay.
There's plenty of life to live still, and there's a way you can do it. Keep chipping away at it, little by little by little.
Knowledge is power. Let's share it, for crying out loud.
Send us an email, give us a call. We'll do our best to help.
We can definitely help figure out what your needs are and get started on that. We're one of many steps in the path to independence, and we're happy to be serving people here in the community.
My name is Carlos Ramalho. I am originally from São Paulo, Brazil. I became disabled when I moved to Montana. I am deaf and I can't see to the point of driving and reading and living a normal life, but I am low vision. LIFTT promotes the inclusion of the aging and disabled people of Montana, or I would say the inclusion of the people with disabilities living in our service area. And we do everything we can to promote inclusion in every aspect of society. This year, we chose to promote disability inclusion through transportation, because there is no independent living without a person enjoying the right to move freely in society. So we partnered with Billings Mat to put on display, so to speak, the ADA accessibility of the system.
Met Transit is the primary public transportation provider for the City of Billings area. We provide both fixed route bus service and complimentary paratransit service. Our entire fixed route bus fleet is ADA accessible with ramp style deployments. The buses can actually kneel the front end of the bus where you're boarding so that it's curb level, so there's no reason to step up into the bus. If you're using it in some sort of mobility device and can't necessarily cross that gap between the curb and the bus, you can have a ramp deployed for an individual to actually board more easily. The fixed route system is also fully equipped with voice enunciation on board for individuals that are actually either visually impaired or hearing impairments, because it does both audible announcements based on the stop location. It's actually a computerized system that we use in conjunction with our GPS bus tracking system, so it knows what stop it's at, what stop is approaching, and so forth, so it can announce those, make those announcements for individuals that might be visually impaired. We've got a lot of features built into the fixed route system to support individuals that have a wide range of impairments.
You see, transportation is not only important for people to go from point A to point B. They need effective and reliable transportation to go to school, to go to work, to attend to medical appointments, to receive a treatment.
You know, if you're feeling apprehensive, number one, call us, because we'll talk you through it and we'll set you up with somebody to actually go out with you and help you to use that system. We access roughly 85% of the city with the fixed route system, and it's really a pretty convenient service. We have 30-minute service covering probably another about 65 to 70% of the city that happens every day from 5:15 till 8:15 at night as far as weekdays, and then we still have Saturday options as well. So, you know, there's lots of different opportunities out there. There's lots of different methods for getting from where you want to go, but we really just hope you give transit a try and see if it's something you like.
When people with disabilities, no matter what type of disabilities they have, are given the tools they need, they will find ways to succeed. I am the Executive Director of Living Independently for Today and Tomorrow, LIFTT. And today is July 26th. We are celebrating the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The ADA is civil rights law, and the purpose of the ADA is to promote disability inclusion in every area of public life. Schools, work, parks, government buildings, anything you name, including the theme of our celebration this year, which is transportation. We believe that nobody can live independently and be part of society without accessible public transportation. We have many partners attending the celebration today and individuals who receive services from LIFTT. And I am very happy to introduce to you a friend and a consumer of LIFTT services, Vicky Larson. Vicky has a very unique type of disability, and she uses it to find strength, to keep her moving. She has many identities other than having a disability. She will tell us about that in a minute. Vicky, welcome to our celebration.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you here.
Happy to be here.
So, what is this unique type of disability that you have?
Well, first off, I'm old. Second is I'm on dialysis. I've been on dialysis for about 9 months.
What is dialysis?
Dialysis is my kidneys don't work. So I need a way to clean out my blood. And so dialysis does that. It takes my blood out of me and then puts it back in.
I see.
Cleaned.
So dialysis is a machine that
Yes.
you have to walk with it. Is it like an oxygen tank that you carry around?
No, I have to go into the clinic, and what they do is they put 2 needles in me, one going in and one coming out, and the one coming out takes care of cleaning my blood. It goes into a machine with a filter on it, and then it comes back into my body.
I see. Does it hurt?
Well, it doesn't hurt to do that, but you don't feel good. So because it's kind of hard on your body. So I leave there really, really tired, and I have to sleep all afternoon because I'm so worn out. It's very hard on your body, but also it's what keeps you alive.
I see.
So-
I wouldn't know that it makes you tired because every time I see you, you are smiling, walking, and talking to us and encouraging us. Where do you find that strength?
Well, I'm not sure. I just know that I have to keep going. I don't want to give up just because I don't feel good. And so I go to art classes. I do watercolor and mixed media. And I make myself go to those things. Now, I don't do it by myself. I've got a lot of friends. The first one is my daughter. She takes me to dialysis and picks me up, and then she takes me to art classes too. But I have about 5 friends that will do the same thing. All I have to do is call them.
Yeah. So who needs kidneys when you have friends and a wonderful daughter, right?
Right.
Sometimes we don't have something we think we can't live without.
Yeah.
And then, as you were saying, instead of having kidneys, I have these wonderful people that surround me with love and care.
Without dialysis, I would die probably within a week. So that's how important dialysis is.
And what is your relationship with LIFTT? Maybe our viewers are curious about how LIFT helps you, what services you receive from LIFT.
Lyft provides me with transportation, and you guys are arranging now for me to try to use the bus system because I don't like having to have just one person have to do everything for me.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is for my daughter right now. She has to do everything.
Yeah.
And she's very good at it, but she needs to have some freedom too.
Yeah. We also have the vaccine clinic today. I just received the COVID-19 vaccine,
Yeah?
so I invite you, if you have not yet taken the vaccine, please feel
Okay.
free to visit Riverstone Health is here. And they are giving our friends and consumers and everybody attending the celebration today a shot of COVID-19.
Well, this is fantastic. I walked around here and talked to each group about what they provide, and Lyft does a fantastic job
Isn't that wonderful?
of providing things for the disabled.
Yeah.
Until I came here, I never thought I was disabled, but I really am.
Yeah. What would you like to say to the viewers, whoever is watching, to encourage them if they are not feeling well also?
I think the thing I'd like to say is how really important it is to ask for help, because there's a lot of help available, a lot of help here that I didn't realize that we had. And if you hadn't had this today, I wouldn't know about it. See, so this is really great. You know, come into Lyft and ask for some help because they've got all kinds of things available.
How much do you pay for the services?
0.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I don't
Indeed, yeah.
pay for anything.
We are happy to have you as a friend first,
Me too.
and as a consumer, and as an example for us to follow, an example of resilience and optimism. You are a role model for all of us.
Thank you.
We love you. Thank you. Hello again. Now I am sitting with a very important person who works with me managing LIFTT's affairs day after day. Welcome, Deborah. We are so happy to finally have come to July 26th.
Oh yes, thank you,
We've
Carlos.
been preparing this for more than 4 months, and it's a huge success. And I want to, in front of the cameras, say that this event would not be a success without your assistance. We really appreciate everything you do. Would you tell our viewers who you are and what you do at LIFTT?
My name is Deborah Costa, I am the finance and HR director here with LIFTT. And I don't know, I guess you call me the Jane of all trades. I kind of fill in wherever it needs to be filled in. I do this work because of my daughter, and I work with my mother as well. I moved here to Billings, Montana to help my mom in her
Dialysis.
Dialysis.
Yeah. We just
and
interviewed Vicky.
Vicky, yeah. So this is my dream job. It's something I've always wanted to do, and to be a part of the community, and working with someone like Carlos, who has the dream to build something wonderful for the community. So someday we'd like to see LIFTT become a foundation so that the legacy can live on for the community for a very long time.
Yeah. So I think one of your most important sources of strength to do the work that you do and keep helping people with disabilities achieve and find independence, I think it's the fact that you gave birth to 7 children. And
yes, I did.
One of them with disabilities.
Yes.
Would you say that being the mom of a child with disabilities changes a person?
Oh yeah, the responsibility that comes with caring for a child with a disability is a lifetime job. You know, somebody, depending upon the disability, they need support through their adult lives as well, depending upon what's going on. If for no other reason than to have somebody that's safe for them to tell them that they're okay and that they're doing well in life. We all need that in the first place, but somebody with a disability, because of the challenges that they face on a daily basis, need that reassurance even more. So yeah, it's a lifetime job. It affects, if a family has a family member who has a disability, it affects everybody in the family, and it's a family affair, it's a community affair. We all need to come together to provide a better life for everybody, because a family with a child with a disability has, I guess you could say, an undue burden, and if that isn't helped, it can be devastating to a family.
So what is in store for the future of LIFTT? Do you have dreams of us continuing to work together, serving more people, special programs? The viewers do not know just by looking at you, but you are a death doula.
Yes.
Would you like to talk a little about that?
When I got into working with the disabled community, I found that a lot of times the disabled or the severely disabled community have lost their family members, or they don't have many friends. They just don't have that contact. So when it comes to the end of their lives, they don't have the support. And so I became a death doula so that I could work with families and people with disabilities to help plan their end of life. There's more, you know, just like people prepare for a birth of a child, the death of someone, the rounding up of somebody's life is just as important. Their spiritual beliefs, their belongings, what they want done, how they wanted to be treated after death is all really important planning. If somebody doesn't talk to them about it, then somebody that they may not know plans it for them. And it can be sad to die alone.
Well, life poses a lot of challenges, and we needed to learn how to cope with all of them.
Yes.
But in the name of all team, in the name of all consumers, thank you for what you do behind the scenes that the cameras cannot show, the sacrifices, the long hours of work, counseling. We are very happy that you are part of it.
Oh, and I'm happy too.
We love you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I am sitting with one of our newest team members. Her name is Anya Pulis. Do I say it right?
Yep.
Welcome, Anya. I'm so happy you're here.
Me too.
Anya joined LIFTT less than a month ago, right? She is a nutritional health coach. Uh, we received a special grant from the state of Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services to create a diabetes prevention program. And one of our needs was to find a nutritional health coach, Anya, who would be specialized in educating people about the nutrition issues, how to eat to prevent diabetes from settling down and becoming part of your life, but also exercising. Anya believes in healing through movement. No one better than Anya to describe herself and the program that we just created. Anya, would you help me?
Yeah, we're so excited. So we have a lot going on, a lot of visions that are waiting to come to fruition. But the main thing is that diabetes prevention program. Inviting those who may have elevated sugar levels and a couple other things to participate in learning how to take care of your body and keep yourself from diving into diabetes and hopefully preventing that, encouraging weight loss. And we are also starting a walking and Tai Chi program. So every Monday at 9 a.m. we're going to be taking a walk around our building here on Crawford Street, and hopefully able to reap the benefits of having social physical activity, as well as Tai Chi. Tai Chi is very inclusive. You can do it seated or standing, so that way people with disabilities can also participate in being able to become more flexible, move your body, get your blood flowing, and really heal through that movement, as well as one-on-one health coaching. So in addition to our diabetes prevention program, we'll be meeting with our consumers and other people who may be in need of our services, to really make those goals, those baby steps that are necessary to help in your overall health and well-being, not even just in the physical activity or nutrition side of things, but also as far as like stress management, and sleep, some other things. So we're excited to help people.
That's wonderful. Well, today we are eating hot dogs, popcorn, and ice
Doesn't count.
cream. I guess none of those things are diabetes friendly, right? But LIFT also has a breakfast and lunch program in which we serve a breakfast and lunch, but for diabetic. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we've been working with one of our peers, Jocelyn, in the kitchen, and we've been reframing our menus to include more complex carbs, that we're able to feed people with diabetes and feed people who are pre-diabetic or just people in general that are wanting to keep their sugars a little bit lower, being more inclusive with food groups and different kinds of macronutrients. So we've been able to tailor the menus, and it's been really yummy. So that's a big benefit.
Yeah. Thank you, Anya,
Yeah.
for everything you are doing and for all the plans for the future. We are really excited.
Thank you, me too.
Thank you. again. My name is Carlos. I am the Executive Director at LIFTT, Living Independently for Today and Tomorrow. And as you already know, today we are celebrating the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. We have many partners. We could not do the work of providing the population of 18 counties in South Central and Eastern Montana with independent living services. One of our partners is the City of Billings, and we work closely with the City Council members, and one of them is Mike Boyd, who agreed to join us today and celebrated the 34th anniversary of the ADA. Welcome, Mike. We
Thank
are
you
very
very much.
happy to have
This is
you
very
here.
nice of you to invite me.
Yes.
Yes.
As you know, Billings is the largest city in the state of Montana. Is it also the most disability friendly, the most disability inclusive?
Well, that I don't know. I haven't visited every other city, but I must say that we're trying. Where every year we spend at least $1 million on sidewalks. I met a lady the other day that said that her and her elderly friends felt trapped in their neighborhood because they couldn't get off the sidewalk. So I checked, and we have next year we're going to install curb ramps in her subdivision, which made her happy.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What about the parks? Is the city concerned about making the parks accessible to people with disabilities, like those who live in wheelchairs?
And that's a little harder. We have been trying to install trails, not necessarily sidewalks, but a trail that's flat. It's a never-ending battle between money and services. In the last couple of years, we've had enough trouble just hiring people, much less trying to get work done. But no, our goal is to have accessible to the parks. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
And I can speak from experience.
Yeah, that's true. It's been very difficult to find talent
Yes.
and people to work in any field nowadays. LIFTT has been experiencing that. But one of the most beautiful things about Billings is the Billings public transportation system, which is fully accessible. And as you know, every year we celebrated the anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, and we pick up a theme to put on display and advocate for more accessibility. This year we decided to put on display as a model to be followed by the other Montana cities of how accessible the public transportation system is. What makes it so special? Would you like to talk
Well,
a
I
little
just think
about it?
that we're, first of all, I think the main thing is you're aware of it.
Yes.
If you're not aware of it, you can't do anything about it.
Yes.
And I was going to say in a talk later that we just received a grant for eight new buses that are transportation, and also the money to buy the buses as well as train the employees. So the bus doesn't do us any good if the employees don't know how to use it properly. So 8 new units is going to be incredible. As you know, Billings the population is aging. We're having more baby boomers than anywhere in time, and I think we're going to need more and more either housing and transportation, and mainly accessibility to any facility we go to.
Yeah, we agree with you, and we need to be prepared to provide the services to the population. Like the city is experiencing, LIFTT also knows that change became part of our daily operations, and we are facing that side by side with the city of Billings.
Yes.
It's an honor to be headquartered in this magic city and have partners like you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
welcome to LIFTT's ADA celebration for 2024, the 34th anniversary of, on this date in 1990, President George H.W. Bush signed the Americans with Disabilities Act into law. I hope everyone has had a chance to see some of the community partners we have outside and learn more about LIFTT and their services and have some goodies and maybe take a trip down the water slide. My name is Jed Barton, and I am the Public Relations and Government Affairs Specialist here at LIFTT. And welcome to LIFTT, and welcome to our, well, new to us, building here at 1241 Crawford Drive in Billings. Without much more ado, I'm going to introduce our first speaker this afternoon, who is LIFTT's Executive Director, Carlos Ramallo. Carlos?
I am delighted to welcome all of you at LIFTT. Today we gather to celebrate a momentous occasion, the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, known as the ADA. It is truly an honor to stand before the LIFTT team, our dedicated consumers and friends, community members, members of the board of directors, strategic partners from various nonprofit organizations, representatives from the government, from government programs and divisions, elected officials and candidates to public office. Your presence here today is a testament of our shared commitment to fostering an inclusive society. As we come together to celebrate the ADA, it is important to reflect on what this landmark legislation means for the American society. Enacted on July 26, 1990, the ADA is a civil rights law that prohibits discrimination against individuals with disabilities, just like me, in all areas of public life. This includes jobs, schools, transportation, all public and private places that are open to the general public. In essence, the ADA ensures that people with disabilities have the same rights and opportunities as anyone else. Equal rights, equal opportunities. The ADA was a groundbreaking step towards creating a more inclusive and accessible society. Before its enactment, people with disabilities often faced an unsurmountable amount of barriers that prevented them from participating fully in everyday life. Whether it was physical obstacles like inaccessible buildings and transportation, or institutional barriers such as discrimination and prejudice, the ADA sought to break down these barriers and promote equality. Yes, equality does not come to us spontaneously. We need to fight for it. Each year, LIFTT highlights a specific theme to raise awareness about the different aspects of disability inclusion. This year, our focus is transportation. Transportation is a vital component of independence and inclusion. It allows people to access education, employment, healthcare, and community activities. Without accessible transportation, the promise of the ADA cannot be fully realized. And that's the most important reason why this year we chose a transportation and disability inclusion through transportation as the theme for our celebration. Without accessible transportation, the ADA would not be effective. We are thrilled to have a Billings Mat participating in today's event. Billings Mat is here to showcase the accessibility features of our public transportation system in Billings. Their involvement is a shining example of how communities can work together to ensure that the transportation systems are inclusive and accessible to all. Accessible transportation means more than just physical access. It means independence, freedom, and opportunity for individuals with disabilities. When we talk about transportation, we are talking about a lifeline to the outside world. Accessible transportation ensures that people with disabilities can go to work, visit friends and family, go to church, attend medical appointments, participate in social and recreational activities. All the things that make us human beings. It is about more than getting from point A to point B. It is about living a full and independent life. Imagine a world where transportation barriers are eliminated. A world where everyone, regardless of ability, can hop on a bus, a train, a plane, without worrying about accessibility. Is that possible? Yes, and we are promoting that. This is the world the ADA strives to create, and it is the world we continue to work towards every day at LIFTT. Today is also special because it marks our first celebration at LIFTT's new building, where we have been operating since April 2024. This new space symbolizes a new chapter for us, a chapter filled with hope, progress, and a renewed commitment to our mission. We are excited to welcome you to this new facility, to which we are committed to adding accessibility and inclusion at the core. In closing, I wanted to extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has made this event possible. Thank you to the LIFTT team for the unwavering dedication and hard work. Thank you to our board of directors for your guidance and support. Thank you to our consumers and friends for trusting us and inspiring us every day. Thank you to our community partners, government representatives, elected officials for standing with us in our mission to create a more inclusive society. A special thank you to Billings Mat for your partnership and for demonstrating the importance of accessible transportation. And finally, thank you to everyone here today for joining us in this celebration. Your presence and support mean the world to us. Together, we are stronger. Together, we can ensure that the promise of the ADA is fully realized. Together, we can create a world where everyone has the opportunity to live independently and with dignity. Thank you, and let's enjoy this wonderful day of celebration and reflection. As we move forward, let us remember that the ADA is not just a piece of legislation, it is a beacon of hope and a call to action. It reminds us that every person, regardless of ability, deserves to be included, respected, and valued. Let us continue to work together to break down the barriers, promote inclusion, and build a society where everyone can thrive. Thank you all for being here today. Let's celebrate this milestone and continue to strive for a brighter and more inclusive future. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Next, I will like to introduce Rusty Logan with Billings Met Transit.
Thank you and good afternoon. My name is Rusty Logan. I manage the Billings Met Transit system for the City of Billings. I've got a lot of information to share with you today. Before we get started on that, I just want to once again extend our thanks to LIFTT for hosting this event today, continuing to be a great community partner, and especially their passionate focus on accessible public transportation in the Billings area. So regarding Met Transit within the City of Billings, this has been in operation since 1973. We've seen a lot of changes over the years, both at the local and federal levels, and other than safety, none of those are more important than equity and accessibility. As far back as 1970, public transit buses have been equipped with lifts and ramps, but accessibility is a lot more than that. Accessibility improved significantly in the early 90s with the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which included the requirement for complimentary paratransit service to also be present in a community that is served by fixed route buses. That guidance has provided for ample opportunity for change within the industry, and now includes over 350 pages of guidance from the Federal Transit Administration on how to meet the requirements of that act. With all this in mind, accessible and equitable transportation is a cornerstone of what Met offers to the community. And this isn't just to meet those requirements that are outlined in those 350 pages, but to ensure everyone in our community has the ability to move throughout the area and take part in activities of daily life. Transportation has evolved from something that's nice to have for the community to an essential human right. Everyone has the need for transportation, for access to items such as medical appointments, for grocery shopping, but also just for outings with friends and family to go about and enjoy the life that we live. Sometimes we just want to go out and see the sights. And at Met, we intrinsically believe in the value of accessible transportation. So I can stand up here and espouse all of our beliefs all day, but what are we actually doing to support those beliefs? Well, we've had quite a busy year. We've had quite a busy 5 years since I started as transit manager with the city. On the fixed route bus service, we've offered multiple improvements to our technology systems to assist members of the public in utilizing that system. All of the new buses that were recently delivered within the last 2 years are low-floor vehicles that are equipped with ramps instead of lifts, which improves the accessibility of that vehicle because there's no weight limit for a mobility device on a ramp. All of these buses are also equipped with low floors on the front half of the vehicle, which allow for easy ingress and egress into that vehicle without the necessity to climb a set of stairs. Audio annunciators for both internal and external announcements of routes and stops for individuals with visual impairments are equipped on every bus. We also have internal signage with the same information for those with hearing impairments. Improved routing information is displayed to the public through real-time bus tracking via our Passio smartphone application. We also now have digital trip planning services available through Google Maps. Significant within this is also our access for individuals to utilize digital fare systems using both a smartphone application and a smart card. You can purchase these over the phone, you can purchase them from Met, and we also have ticket vending machines that are fully equipped with audio jacks for purchase of these at each of our transfer centers as well. Met has historically and continues to offer discount programs for individuals with disabilities, seniors, and students. So those are something that individuals with an interest definitely should contact Met regarding. One of the most significant activities we've undertaken in the last 5 years was the overhaul of our fixed route system in October of 2023. This was primarily to improve the usability, accessibility, and convenience to the riding public. It was a complete reimagining of the routing system to better connect areas of the city with consistent departures that can easily be anticipated by the riding public. 90 more minutes of weekday service were added into the evenings for operating hours that span from 5:45 a.m. until 8:15 p.m. on weekdays, as well as 30-minute headways across the city, including 15-minute service downtown. The most significant improvement included in this was the move from what was called a flag stop system to a designated stop system. A flag stop system, as those with visual impairments understand more fully than I ever can, makes it very difficult to understand where to catch the bus. If you have difficulty seeing the bus approaching, it makes it nearly impossible to wave at that bus to let them know that you need to catch the bus. With this move to designated stops, aside from easier understanding and ability to board, also allowed for that integration that I mentioned previously with the Google Maps system. However, the most significant change that the move to designated stops brings to the Met Transit system is a responsibility to improve those stops within the transit system. When you have no bus stops, you have no responsibility to ensure accessibility to board that bus. Met Transit also offers a travel training program for individuals that may be hesitant to use the fixed route system. This is offered directly from Met personnel who will do this both on an individual or group basis and will actually go with you out into the field to plan a trip, make a trip, catch the bus, and understand exactly how to utilize that system. Aside from our fixed route system, as I mentioned previously, paratransit is an essential service that is provided to the community. This is an origin to destination service where we will pick up an individual from their house and take them to their destination, whether it be a medical provider's office, a school, a movie theater, wherever you want to go. Now, the primary characteristic of this system is that it is intended for individuals with conditions that would inhibit their ability to utilize the fixed route system. So while it is definitely an essential service for the community, it is also a limited service for the community that we continue to try to address the growing demand for. Recently, we were awarded a federal grant to replace a number of our vans. Over $1 million will be going towards the purchase of 8 paratransit vans to replace our aging fleet. These are smaller, more maneuverable vans, but input from the community is essential as we continue to specify the needs for these vehicles. Within the paratransit operations, Met regularly coordinates throughout the community. We actually have a group that we call the coordination group, which doesn't really give it justice, but It's a group that focuses upon human services needs throughout the Billings area. I see many of the partners that we invite to those meetings in this room today, including LIFTT, Healthy by Design, also State of Montana, the Adult Resource Alliance, and so forth. This is an essential activity for not only MET to understand the needs of the community, but also to make sure that the voice is heard loud and clear to our elected officials as well. Overall, transit service is a service for which demand continues to grow. Billings has grown significantly in the last 10 years, with the urbanized area pushing past 130,000 people in population. And if those numbers, growth rates mean anything to anybody here, I'm sure we've pushed past 135,000 since those counts were done. As far as Met Transit goes, we've seen demand grow by approximately 62,000 rides within the last year alone. We anticipate providing over 500,000 rides into this current fiscal year. Met currently provides over 850,000 miles of road service annually, and we do intend to grow that number. We understand transportation is an essential service, and we aren't done improving that system, so stay tuned for more. I again want to thank LIFTT for the opportunity to present and discuss accessible transportation options here within the city. I also want to directly thank the community and our elected officials for their unwavering support for MET. Without all that support, we would definitely not be where we are today. And to wrap up, if you do have questions about vehicles or buses, we do have 2 of them on site for anybody to directly check out. My crew has been here, Sarah and Jenna, which I want to directly thank as well, manning the booth and answering questions and so forth. So we'd be happy to discuss afterward. Once again, thank you all. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Rusty. On a personal note, I use the Met to get here to the office most mornings, and you guys are doing a great job. Next up, I believe, is Tim Harrington from Community 7. Tim?
So I do much better behind the camera, not on the camera. So my name is Tim Harrington. I'm the general manager for Community 7 Television. I'm going to be very brief. I had actually written out something. I thought you forgot about me, but you put me first up here. LIFTT does a program at Community 7, television program, so that's where I've gotten to know these fine folks. And today we're broadcasting this live, streaming it on the internet and as well as on television as well. I think the thing that we've done, I mean, this event is about the ADA and compliance and all that kind of stuff today. But what we were able to do a few years back, we partnered with the City of Billings, the School District 2, the County Commissioners, and the Billings Community Foundation to acquire a small grant, and then we all kind of partnered together to provide closed captioning for our viewing audience. I was able to partake in a convention a few years back that somebody that had a hearing impairment gave a speech about, I guess, the importance of it, and I think unless it affects you, you don't think much about it. So I was, I guess, blessed to be a part of that and just kind of realize the importance for it. So I don't have a whole lot. I'm going to let the other experts speak in this area, but thanks for coming out. And I just kind of wanted to give a warm welcome to, or a appreciation for the folks at LIFTT and everything that they do. So if you want to join me with that, that would be great. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Next will be, and I believe he's representing the mayor and his fellow city councilors as well as himself, is Councilman Mike Boyette from Ward 5, which is out on the southwest end of town, correct? All right, Councilman Boyette.
Not used to having a podium like this, but anyway, thank you. As Deputy Mayor for the City of Billings, I want to thank you for inviting me to what? The Americans with Disabilities Act ADA celebration, right? So for a number of years, get this, I'd say, why are we spending all this money on these sidewalks, these ramps? What is all this about? Why are we wasting the money? Okay, guess what? December of 2019, I fall on the ice in front of my house. I break my ankle in 3 places. I end up with a cast 80 feet long. I'm sitting in the wheelchair with my foot stuck out for 6 weeks. The only thing I could do was whine. And I whined and I whined and I whined. Why me? I bet everyone says that. To add insult to injury, I had to be sworn in as a brand new city councilman 3 weeks later. How do I get to City Hall? How do I get in the building? I had to send somebody down to the building to make sure I could even get into the building. It's got an elevator at the front door that's not accessible from the outside because you can't park there. It was devastating. So what did I do? Whine, whine, whine. When I finally got into the building, I found that the City Hall was technically ADA compliant, but it certainly wasn't user-friendly. So guess what's been my goal for the last 5 years, everybody? Make sure that it's ADA compliant, that it's user-friendly. So it has changed my life quite a bit. And it's hard to say that because I really didn't think much about it until it happens to you. So when I see people now, I don't say, well, geez, I think of me and the problems, and then I can associate myself with their problems. We need this. It has really changed my life. Truly it has. We also want to acknowledge LIFTT and its 30 years of helping people with disabilities to try to make their life better, more like people who don't have disabilities. And then as Rusty had said, most recently, the Billings Transit Authority has received a federal grant to get eight, isn't that 8? New ADA paralegal vehicles with, more importantly, the training that goes with it. The vehicles aren't any good without training. I can pull up in a van, well, so what, get in. Well, no, you need people who care and want to care. Billings has spent about $10 million in the last few years for ADA, they call them street curb ramps, the little red things there. And we currently have a budget we raised from $500,000 to $1 million a year to can do this every single year. Our hardest part is getting somebody to do the work anymore, though. We used to have 4 crew members that's all they did. Well, guess what? After pandemic, they left us, so we're struggling spending the $1 million. We also have we also spent over $12 million replacing sidewalks. Just because you have a sidewalk in front of your house doesn't mean that it's even, that there's places that are raised and lowered, and that's a real problem. I received a call from a lady on the West End one day that said her and her neighbors were trapped at their house. They couldn't get out of their house onto the sidewalk because there were no curb ramps. She couldn't get off of her sidewalk to go for a walk. So we made sure that next year her area is in the ability to get new curb ramps. So, very short, I want to thank you. This is an important thing. We need to continue. The City of Billings will continue to do curb ramps, sidewalks, and with the help of Rusty, make accessibility around the city much easier. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Council Member. Next up will be representing Senator John Tester, Caitlin Roberts from his staff. Caitlin.
Hi everyone, my name is Kaylin. I represent Senator Tester's office. Personally, I just want to say thank you everyone at LIFTT for hosting this incredible event today. The ADA is very important to me personally, and then I just personally want to say just thank you for everything that you guys have done for the community and everything that you will continue to do. And with that, I have a message from the Senator. Hello and thank you for allowing me to share a few words as we mark the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. I want to start by thanking the hardworking folks over at LIFTT, including Executive Director Carlos, Communications and Government Affairs Coordinator Jed, and all the members and partners of LIFTT who work hard to support Montanans living with disabilities. The rights of those folks living with disabilities are fundamental, and it's thanks to the hard work of folks like you that these rights aren't just on paper, but they're applied and protected all across Big Sky country. The ADA was a historic milestone for this country and marked a critical step forward to ensuring equal access and opportunities for folks with disabilities in the Treasure State and across our nation. I'm proud to have worked with my colleagues from both sides of the aisle to support individuals with disabilities in Montana. Through my bipartisan infrastructure law, we secured significant funding for ADA improvements, including critical resources to upgrade terminals at the Yellowstone Airport and Missoula Airport, where construction is already underway. As you folks know, the work is far from over. Moving forward, it is critical that we keep up the fight to build a more inclusive Montana. You've got my word that I will keep fighting alongside you to ensure that every Montanan feels at home in the Treasure State. Keep up the good work, and please know my door is always open. Your Senator, John Tester.
Thank you. Representing Senator Steve Daines from his staff is Tori Kolkhorst. Tori.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tori Kolkhorst. I represent Senator Steve Daines throughout South Central Montana, and it's just a real pleasure to join you all today. Celebrating people with all abilities has been something that's important to me and my family for a long time. My little sister is actually a special education teacher at a school here in Yellowstone County, so I'm very proud of her and each of you for the work that you do to celebrate people of all abilities. So with that, I have a message to share. Dear friends, thank you for the opportunity to share a few words with you all as we celebrate the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The ADA is a landmark civil rights law in our nation's history that affirms everyone is created equal in the image of God, regardless of their abilities. I want to say a special thanks to everyone at Living Independently for today and tomorrow for sponsoring today's event in celebration and promotion of this historic legislation. Today, as we celebrate the ADA, may we also be reminded that people with different abilities have not always had the access and resources they deserve to live full, independent lives. Discrimination, limited employment opportunities, barriers to education, and physical obstacles have long held Americans back from reaching their full potential. Despite the setbacks that each person living with a disability has faced, they have shown the world their resilience and potential, which knows no bounds. This is why the passage of the ADA is invaluable in our pursuit of a more perfect nation. While this legislation will go down in history as a transformative civil rights law, there is still much work to be done. May we take it upon ourselves to celebrate people of all abilities and remember that there is dignity and value in every human life. As President George H.W. Bush said as he signed this historic act into law on that July day in 1990, let the shameful wall of exclusion finally come tumbling down. It is an honor to serve as your United States Senator, and if I can ever be of assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out. May God bless you all. Sincerely, Steve Daines, United States Senator.
Thank you, Caitlin and Tori. Again, the Americans with Disability Act here in Montana has a long bipartisan history. Both Senator Burns and Senator Baucus voted for it. And it is nice to see Senator Daines and Senator Tester keep that spirit of bipartisanship alive. That is the end of our scheduled speakers. However, we are about inclusion here at LIFTT. So is there anyone from our team or from our community partners or who would possibly be interested in saying a few words? We can bring a microphone to you, I think, if you can't get up here to the podium. Again, no pressure, but we wanted to make sure nobody felt left out. Alrighty then. I think then I'm going to invite Carlos to offer some closing remarks. Thank you.
I needed my cane. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, as we bring this wonderful celebration to a close, I want to take a moment to reflect on the significance of today. We've gathered here to honor the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. As said before, not only a piece of legislation, but a document that has profoundly impacted the lives of millions. We've shared stories, learned from one another, and celebrated our achievements. Today, we have seen firsthand how transportation can be a powerful tool for inclusion. And if you needed to review what we learned today, just visit our website and you will be able to watch the video that LIFTT and Billings Met produced together, displaying what it means to be an accessible public transportation system. Billings Met commitment to accessibility is a shining example of how we can work together to break down barriers and create a more inclusive community. Let us carry this spirit of today's theme, disability inclusion through transportation, into our everyday lives, advocating for and supporting accessible solutions for all. As we live here today, let us carry the lessons we've learned and the inspiration we've felt into our communities. Let us continue to advocate, to educate, and to innovate. Together we can create a brighter and more inclusive United States of America. Thank you all for being here, for celebrating with us, and for your ongoing support. Let's continue to make a difference today and every day. Have a wonderful day. I hope to see you next year and celebrate the 35th anniversary of the ADA together. Safe travels home. Thank you.